Hello, everybody. It is great to be here one more time today. My name is Gary Fowler, and I am the CEO, founder, and president of GSD Get You Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in the heart of Silicon Valley. We love artificial intelligence, quantum computing, metaverse, and Web3 because, as you know, the world is digitally transforming. The democratization of opportunity and intellectual capacity is evenly spread around the world, but opportunities are not. I've built 17 companies, been involved in 2 unicorns. I almost said 3 because I believe we got one more coming up here with Annika, and love artificial intelligence and quantum. And with that, I'd like to introduce Annika Kessel with Cosmic. Hi, Annika.
Hi, Gary.
How are you today?
Excellent, brilliant. Greetings from the Swiss summer.
And how's the weather up there? Is it warm? Is it hot? Or is it normal?
Is it really hot?
Yeah.
Like hot. It's super humid. We have 33 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's very, very hot.
Yeah,
It
that
has
would be like over 90. That's hot. And so is it normal, Annika, to be this hot?
It can get that hot, yes. It has been not raining much, so nature is looking for rain at some point. But we're enjoying the view. We are permaculture gardening in our farm.
Listen, you don't have to go to Ibiza. You can do it right out your back door now.
Absolutely. Back in the day.
No, it's great. So, let's go down through it. So tell me a little bit about, we're going to go down through about yourself. So what is an open university? I was always curious. I've heard the term open university. What is that? You got your bachelor's degree with honors. What is an open university? What's the difference between an open university and Simon Fraser University?
So Simon Fraser University is like a proper university where you physically go. An open university, it's like a collaboration program to get like a dual degree, English and German. It was back then for us. So we did like a partnership agreement with that other university, and we would get an English degree in parallel.
An English degree? You mean in English, or you would be a degree from the UK?
I think it was both. So we
really that's cool. Did you like that?
I liked it, but basically it wasn't anything fancy. It just basically meant we had several assignments and exams in the English language, and then we got that certificate from that university. So it was, and we paid I think $500.
Oh. Hey, listen, everybody, if you want a dual degree, Annika knows how to do it. She's got it down. There you go. I like those hacks. That's an educational hack. Those are really cool. At least you're honest. You could have told me, Annika, you could have told me some BS about the thing. I had to work hard. It took me 5 years, but you got $500. Hey, listen, you got it. That sounds great.
We did work hard in addition.
Okay, we got another educational tip for all of you out there around the world. So tell me a little bit about it. So you did that, and are you from Cologne originally or not? I don't remember I asked you. Are you from Cologne? Because I know you went to University of Cologne. Is that where you're from originally or not?
I'm from a town very close by that. Correct.
And what's the difference between living in Switzerland and living in your little town close to Cologne?
There's a big difference. Switzerland is in some ways as foreign to Germans as Japan, I feel. So the culture is, although we're speaking almost the same language, at least in writing, the culture of the people, the attitude is much different to Germans. So Germans are very straight, functional, working. It gets quite competitive in especially city environments. Switzerland is really laid back and relaxed, I would say, although professional. And people are super politically correct and respecting each other's, and no one is stepping on each other's toes. They have really a different mentality and language culture. Whereas in German, it's much more down to the point. If you do that here in Switzerland, you're very impolite.
Really? So they're more polite in Switzerland?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, where do you like living better? Would you rather live in Switzerland or Germany?
I love both. Right now, I'm super enjoying living in Switzerland. It's a beautiful country. I just actually wrote a love letter to Switzerland because we're doing this gratitude posts in our Cosmic Universe group where there's team advisors and investors. And I just wrote, because we had Nationality Day on August 1st in Switzerland, I wrote a love letter to the country to honor the land where Cosmic's source is kind of growing from, because the country and the people are so amazingly supportive. The nature is beautiful, it's pristine. We're building something that is supposed to help the human heart and the planet thrive, right? So this country is amazing for this, and maybe you feel my excitement in the voice.
Hey, yeah, I see you. You're smiling and everything.
Yeah, it's an amazing question, because we just did that yesterday, and people were responding like, "Oh my God, we feel the authenticity of the love of Cosmic for Switzerland so much." So the one thing about Switzerland that's very unique, I understood that a little bit into living here, is Switzerland has never been occupied by a dictatorship, nor by the Habsburgers, nor by the Romans. So it originated in 17 tribes uniting, basically. And now we have 26 cantons, which are pretty much ruled on the communal level still. And that's why it has very much...
Cantons? What is it, like a county? Is that what they are?
Correct. And that's why when we look at Web3 and the new tribalism through NFT communities and that whole metaverse community way, it's very close kind of to the origins of Switzerland almost. And there's no coincidence that in Zug here, there's such a big crypto valley, because the free spirit of the people who have never been occupied or obediently governed, that's what you can really feel here. And that's super inspiring for building something non-conventional, which is what we do, based on love. And people honor their land, they honor their communities, they're super about local farming and community projects, and you can really feel the love of Swiss people they have for the country every single day. Not saying that this is not the same in Germany. It's the cultivation of that is happening every single day wherever you look, if you are putting on the glasses of love. That's what I feel.
The glasses of love. So the Swiss are just a bit better at love. Yeah, they love you can feel the love. And you're saying it's because they haven't been occupied? I mean, it's interesting that you said that with the Habsburgs or dictators, etc. So can you feel, is there that much of a difference, like between Switzerland and Germany? Like what % difference would you say in terms of freedom, like that, freedom of expression or love?
It really depends as well where you go. I don't want to tell a number, but the anti... Even not participating in the European Union, not participating in the currency, the demonstrations against COVID were much stronger here. People don't like to be told by huge organizations what to do. So I'm not judging if it's good or wrong, if it's good or right or wrong. It's just that the as well, not being occupied by the media and global corporations is something people are rebellious against here, which has a strong energy.
Interesting.
And because of the close connection to nature people have everywhere, because this is basically several mountains together in dimensions of compared to other countries. People are very close to nature and the human vibe, it feels. So before they just do something that the media tells them, running, jumping off a cliff, they think, because they have their body connected to nature a lot. And that's in comparison to huge other cities in other countries that are part of huge organizations, like the European Union, for example.
So what do you do for fun? So if you have all this, what do you do for fun? Run out in the fields and lay in the fields, or what do you do?
So last weekend, I can share, I have this one beautiful friend who's my age, and she is actually a cow farmer. And she is taking care every summer for several months together with her kids of 60 cows. So I went high up into the mountains. I had to take those several gondolas and then did 1 hour hike to get to that place. And that was really...
How did they get the cows up there?
By feet, like they're walking up there.
Yeah, so they walk the cows to the place, so they have to walk up the mountain with the cows. Wow, that must be interesting. That sounds like, what is it, Heidi, right?
Yes, it is like that. And you get up at 5 a.m. in the morning, and they have these hot pots where they cook with fire because there's no electric power, where they heat up the milk, and they have all these baby cows, and then there's steam, and it's really fun.
Did you have fun?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you milk the cows?
I did last time. This time I was dinner and breakfast for the people who were working in the stables.
That's amazing. That's great. So you
And you're
enjoyed it.
sleeping right up top the stable, and there's only just one big bedroom for everyone. So it's like you're sleeping in up top, and you hear the cowbells ringing and just the birds
Wait a
floating.
minute. So the cows are underneath you and you're sleeping on top of the cows? That's amazing. Could you sleep? Did you get sleep when you're in there ringing bells all night long?
Yeah, I could, and I had several things to process for business, and I knew I had to get up there. Although I felt super exhausted, I needed some space. So up there, there's nothing except mountains and cows and pristine beauty of nature. So I went up there, and at 3 a.m. in the morning, I woke up and ding, my cells and my body and my mind had the solution ready that I was searching for several weeks for. So it's quite
Wow,
well
that's great. So you had a transcendental experience
on top of the cows. Yes,
on top of the cows. Okay. Did it smell?
yes. Smells like cows do.
I've been around. I grew up on a farm, so I know a little bit about those smells. So you came out of it. You got involved in a lot of different. So you were at peak work. It sounds like you're mostly in marketing. What made you decide? You've done consulting work with the UN. You work with a mobile company, Just Book. How did you? You've done startups. How many startups have you been involved in total?
4. And
What did you learn?
um
What did
the
you learn?
lessons for life, I would say. A lot of do's and don'ts. How to scale, how to run against the wall and crash, how to I think the essence I learned is when you build a company, the way you maneuver through the highs and the lows is the essence of continuous development. So not freaking out when there's lows and not getting overly excited and defocused when everything is great.
I remember one time a good friend of mine. So I was doing this project, and he said, it's the heroes and the goats. He said the one thing is you're never it's quite as good as the heroes everybody says when you're on top, and you're never as bad as a goat on the bottom. He said you're somewhere in between. You got to look at it, and you're right about it. You got to level it off, because if you're emotional about this stuff, you shouldn't be doing startups. If you can take it with a grain of salt and move forward and stay focused and have some fun, then it's for you. But some people, they're right. They have those emotions that go up and down and in and out, and it doesn't work for them.
Well, I mean, the second thing I learned is everything is about humans, no matter how techy your business is. And I've always been in the interface of technology growth and international kind of digital solutions. It's still, you're working with humans who are always very emotional. And it's not that we're not having emotions as well in the startup. It's super exciting and it's so frustrating, right? At the same time, sometimes it's understanding you're not your emotion. It's just flowing through you, and then you can just let go of whatever is flowing through you, and then you're the ocean, you're not the waves. So that's
right. And you have the cows, Annika. You always got the cows.
That's a backup option, yes.
The cows always come home.
Well, sometimes they don't. We were running on the mountain with seriously sticks, and we had to get them into the stable, and they just run away. Yeah.
Now, how did you do that? How do you herd a cow? How did you do it? Do they come? Because I know in Pennsylvania, they would come at nighttime because they know they're going to get their food. So we start to congregate. Do they do that, or they just take off and are they everywhere?
They're everywhere, especially because it's really mountainy and bumpy, the grass you're walking on. You use your voice. So they're very trained to a voice that is close to yodeling. So you're making funny sounds, and then you're using your stick.
You're what? You're yodeling?
Yodeling, those Swiss songs that they're
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And did you do it? Did you do it?
Close to that. So you're talking in those sound vibrations to them. That's where they resonate, and they start walking towards the stable or the water.
Seriously? So the yodeling is to bring the cows home, and that's why they did it?
No, but it's a similar voice frequency. The yodeling is what they do to communicate across mountains before they had telephones.
Do they still do it?
It's like with smoke, but with your voice.
Yeah. Smoke.
Yeah, actually, it's amazing. There's a feminine movement here in Switzerland where they really gather and yodel again, and it's so beautiful. I always ask my friend to please yodel because it's really nice.
Does she know how to yodel?
Yeah, beautifully, very nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching Heidi as a kid. That was one of my favorite movies.
Same for me.
And
I feel like Heidi here sometimes. That's why I live here.
That's good. So tell me a little bit about it. As you're going down through, so tell me how you came up with the idea of Cosmic and what the purpose of Cosmic and what your vision is for Cosmic.
Mm-hmm. How we came up, the purpose and the vision. So I start with how we came up. I wasn't planning this, and I went on a plane and I met back then weird guy and soon very interesting person that we as human beings totally fell in love. And I started consulting his business. I started investing in his company, and then we sat down and we met a third amazing person and we founded Cosmic Universe with the purpose to be humans again. And by that, being very truthful and honest, and with that frequency of love you're in, because we're in our essence, we're love. We're touching hundreds of millions of hearts. That was the essence. And the vision is to, by gathering a community worldwide, which we have started and successfully started building with hundreds of thousands of community online and hundreds of people in the analog community, really being humans together again and creating values and a universe of love, so that we reinvent love in this world as a life attitude together. And what that means operationally is we have created social media avatars who are sharing as a collective swarm intelligence who we are as a collective, and they're sharing
swarm intelligence.
Yes, a human, emotional, heart-driven swarm intelligence, you can call them, and they're sharing stories about the human heart, consciousness, body technology, and we started launching NFTs last year, the avatars, and it's all about the avatars are the storytellers of the human collective, waking up, starting to walk that path of love together, where we do things differently, and we do things differently in the process of creation together, in the process of communicating with the world through frequency. We apply sacred geometry, universal codes.
Wait a minute, tell us a little about sacred geometry.
So sacred geometry is basically something that is understood by the human cells even. It's sacred, it's forms, geometric forms, that where I call it sacred is that, for example, a galaxy is in its form, it's the same structure than your eye inside. A sunflower inside has the same patterns than the largest galaxy in the universe. So there's replicative patterns everywhere in everything that comes from human or nature. So, and this is, for example, an example of sacred geometry.
So, and what happens? Do you get harmonic resonance because you have this relatedness, this almost symbiotic relatedness to these different objects? What happens?
I would, so when you look at sound frequency, or you listen to sound that is in a hertz frequency that we call sacred frequency, 432 hertz, or when you look at sacred geometry objects that are replicating the patterns of universal information, basically, your cells remember that information, and it's very healing for the body, being in touch with that. So Beethoven has a different vibration to your body than some techno pop. Not
Motley
judging.
Crue.
Sorry?
Motley Crue.
Yes. And so sacred geometry is helping us remember who we are as humans. And that's one of the core essences of Cosmic, that we supply multimedia content and digital events and in real life events where we can be human again. And we are working and creating from a process rather of being than of doing. Because when we're doing, we're in the rat race, we're from the mind. When we're being in a being state, we can create and tap into different fields of consciousness. So that's some of the initiatives. And how this looks is we dropped NFT collections. The avatars have Spotify accounts and producing music with world record label producers. The avatars have been writing in Amazon bestseller books about the values of life, which is us, like the secret team behind them. The avatars are communicating with like we had 800 million impressions on social media so far. They have been invited to speak at the United Nations Global Youth Conference hosted by the International Commission of Human Rights. And we do light art. So we were invited with a famous light artist into the Arctic, North Pole, and we did a light art campaign where basically awareness for the connection.
You have 800 million impressions in social media, and what else do you have? So those are some impressive statistics. So tell us a little bit more. You've been invited to speak. Who was invited to speak at the UN?
The avatar Leia Love, who is the ambassador for world awareness.
Got it. And then what else? You said one other statistic too. That was pretty cool. 800 million speak at the United Nations. And what's the other statistic?
The avatars have been partnering with celebrities, and they were part of authors in an Amazon bestseller book about the values of life.
No, that's very good. Very good. Well, you're making some great progress. Phenomenal progress.
The community, and it's the avatars. It's this collective energy that is vibrating stronger and stronger. And when you know the vibrancy you have when you're in fear versus when you're in love, you see there's a much bigger energy field. And that's what we're really trying to consciously cultivate, working, like connecting to that field of love, not fear. And although fear is part of the love is everything. But being with that, being very aware of that, and basically unconditioning the human programs, which everyone is so conditioned. We have to be that certain type of person. We have to do certain kind of things. And what is behind all that? Who are you as a true human being and your truest version of yourself? And we invite people to co-create with us, to kind of invest in us, to advise us in how we're doing that. And from there, we're NFTing. We're launching now a love token soon. And we're sharing that with the world through the art of NFTs. So we're not only digitalizing art, we're as well doing experience NFTs in the future.
How have you changed, Annika, since you've been doing this project?
If you ask some people, they will say you were a different person 3 years ago. A lot. Because
what's changed? So if you look at your characteristics, what's changed the most about you?
My ego has had to, love beats you in the face, full stop. And you have to surrender to your heart at some point. Otherwise your ego gets in the way. So that's my continuous everyday work. Not having my programs get in the way of executing this project to its highest purpose and values. Learning, moving, like becoming calm inside, although the storm around is immense, because when we're tapping into fields where we're really getting in touch with people's traumas, with our own traumas, all these triggers are being pulled, because we're not just working together as resources creating output. We're working together as human beings, connecting in an energy field, and see what happens from there, almost in the universal laws of free creation. And what we're doing as an organism and as a business is we're here to prove that not even really following a strict business plan and strategy planning, but going with the universal flow, we're attracting. It's the law of attraction. When the more truthful you are, the more truth comes to you, what is supposed to meet you. And when you're open and you surrender to what your mind feels should happen, then the magic exposes itself. And And that's a process that is very beautiful, but personally, kind of a path to walk to really get your expectations, like it's almost deconditioning the I to just have it flow through you.
Got it. Decondition the eye to have it flow. So I love that. All right. So listen, we're coming to the top of the show. Closing thoughts, and how do people get a hold of you?
Closing thoughts. I'm super grateful, Gary, you invited me again, and it has been an interesting ride together. I invite people, we invite as a collective, we experience a new way of human beings being, creating, cultivating being human again. And this is creating financial abundance, interestingly, in a very strong manner. So I'm inviting people to participate in whatever level. So people come to us, they invest, they work with us as co-creators of art, NFT artists, technologists, advise us for certain things. So I invite people to be inspired by what it means to be a human, and joining this frequency of love movement with us.
Oh, that's great. So remember, frequency of love movement. And you got the tokens to prove it. So, and how do people get a hold of you, Annika? What's the best way?
You can contact me on LinkedIn, and you can contact me on WhatsApp. Gary can share the phone number and my email as well available.
No, that's great. Well, as always, it's great to see you.
Telepathy, if people are ready.
What is it?
Telepathy.
Oh, there you go. I feel that. I know what you're saying. No. So telepathy, anyway, whatever the level of consciousness goes up, there's all kinds of ways. This harmonic resonance, the way you communicate is going to change, and we should bring a lot more love to this planet. We got a lot of stuff going on, and if there was a lot more love, we wouldn't have it in a negative way. So let's do that. Annika, thanks again for joining my show. And to all of you out there, my name is Gary Fowler, and I'm the host of GSD Presents, Silicon Valley AI and Tech. Stay tuned for another exciting edition next Tuesday. I'm your host, Gary Fowler. And Annika, thank you very much. And to all of you, stay safe, stay happy, and stay healthy. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Thank you, Annika.
Thank you. Bye-bye.